KNOS 1450 AM and W272EK 102.3 FM. Licensed to New Bern, North Carolina. News, information, community awareness, education. The Mary Perkins-Williams Show.
Good morning, community. Good morning, communities all over Eastern North Carolina. March. This is, of course, WECU. 1570 on the AM dial, 107.5 on the FM dial. Winterville and Greenville, North Carolina, right here in the great county of Pitt. We are so happy to have you join. Yes, I am live. Yes, I am in color, especially on the social media. And the platform is rolling. This is Women History Month. And I must say, I haven't been giving many tributes to women history because the first part of March, 1, 2, and 3, we were voting. And 4, we were looking at and calling. And thank you so much for your congratulations for having won the seat. And then the next day, it seemed like there was a storm. Storms of life rage, and the weather is really out there. This is Women History Month, and we would have the win. Oh, the win, women, men talk about us, that how we change our minds and how we flow. Well, they couldn't do without us, because after all, birth can't happen without women. Birth can't happen without men. And so, therefore, we're going to start being kind to one another, much kinder. We're going to stop some of the criminal activities, and we're going to be loving and liking and learn how to have a debate and go right. So, yes, I am live. I had a guest planned for today. We could not make it last week. I was in a forum of sorts. It dealt with the North Carolina Association of Counties. And in that meeting, there were district leaders throughout the state of North Carolina. Some came from afar, and a lot of us came near, like 29 counties. Women History Month is a month that this country pledged to recognize women. So I like to say congratulations and thank you, women of every household. Thank you for your care, for your love, for being there, and for making the ends meet, for doing all of the cooking, the cleaning, the washing, the preparations, and keeping the families together. It's not that much talk said about Women History Month. We've not had much conversation about women. This station is owned by a African American, some people say black, but by an African American female woman, opposite of the man. And I'd like to thank her so much for pitching her tent in Pitt County. She is wonderful. She has expanded. We have Rocky Mount on the screen there. We have Winterville, New Bern, and who knows, and Lenoir County, and who knows what else we will get. I hope she can expand from I-95 all the way to the Atlantic Ocean, because women is what make things move and what makes the world go around. So to all of you women, congratulations for the efforts you do, for the activities that you are involved in, and for standing up smiling when you could cry. Thank you so much, women. Every household has a woman in it. Every household have had a woman in it, even if she no longer is there and she has transitioned to another place. Congratulations, men who are filling in for that vacant void that the woman have left. Now you know how much of a shoe she was now that she is no longer here. So now, did I pay tribute to the women? Absolutely. And today, my son is at home cutting my grass. Now, how happy am I? Because guess what? I learned how to use the zero turn lawnmower, and he doesn't know that I know how to cut the grass now. I know my neighbors across the street from me. I know the men was looking at me when I zigzag and did like the children are when they get on their motorized vehicles for toys. They zing, 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 and twist and turn. I did some of that, but I can maintain that riding lawnmower now. I can cut a straight line. I have driven a school bus. I have driven a tow mower. And now I am a car owner and a car driver, and I can drive a car. And my newest accomplishment is driving that zero turn lawnmower. Thank you, men, for all your kindness. Thank you for all your appreciation. And I would like for you, fellows, males, fellows, males, boys, masters, that's what they call men, is to learn what we do around. Pay attention what you would have to do if the woman was not in the household. You would come in, wash your hands, didn't wipe your feet. You sit down, what's for dinner? Don't smell dinner cooking. And if it's a sandwich, mm, if it's I haven't thought of it. Mm. If we say, well, let's go out to dinner, who gonna pay for it? So you need to give that female in your household, your wife, your daughter, your mother, your grandmother, your substitute uh, female in the house, do something nice for her at least once a week this month. The month is almost out. Do something nice for that female at least once a week this month. Well, I won't say anything. I've been congratulated. My son showed up last night. Said, "Mama, I'm coming to cut the grass," and he's here, and he will leave today and go home. And I'm sure that he will cook and then get ready for his drive tomorrow because he's a driver now. He has retired from East Carolina. Thank you, East Carolina. He has moved on into truck driving. Thank you, Pitt, Beaufort Community College, because I think he took his uh, truck driving classes at Beaufort. Thank you so much. Retired from ECU, and he's going on the highway and seeing the world, not through the military, but through trucks and driving and buses. And I am pleased that he has not given up on life. Born next month, his birthday is next month, April. And well, you spring forward in April, and that's Easter. That's Christian month, April, Christian month. And I'm so happy that he has learned to be polite, kind, and respectful to women because I do hear some women and what they had to say about their treatment and how they are disrespected. And for all the men who have been kind enough to hold the door, walk up, grab the door, and hold it, and step back, and I'm standing there, and they push to say go on. I say thank you, thank you, thank you for your kindness. And women, we got to learn how to do that. We got to learn how to be appreciative of kind gestures. That maybe we can cut down on some of this violence, because it hurt me so bad when the women was murdered in a violent way. It hurt me so bad when a grandson found it necessary to kill his grandparents. Our young people need guidance. And for all of you men who have failed to say, oh, they aren't doing anything, I spoiled them, that's your fault. You need to correct that. You need to step up to the plate as a man and put your muscle in your mouth and say, don't do that. She does not deserve it. You need to be a man. You wear the pants for something else other than getting up and putting your feet in them in the morning. This is Women History Month, and I'm on care, kindness, and goodness for women. Men get it all the time. We have one day, 1 month set aside for women and women history. We fill in where some of you don't and cannot, because you go in the military. You know, we've covered some programs on this show. It's all about men. They talk about the military. They talk about veterans. Women are also a part of that. We fill in. Women are nursing. They call nursing a women's career. Now we have men careers, women. And thank goodness, because a woman should not be having to lift the man and roll him over, turn and wash, give him a bath because he just happened to get sick. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing. Now, that's Dionne Warwick, you know. Dionne Warwick, what the world needs now. And then the Bible says, love ye one another as thyself. This is a Christian station with Christian music and Christian motivation. And love is Christianity. You talk Christianity, but you don't know how to show Christianity. You cuss and carry on and act like you don't have good sense. Yes, I'm on the bandwagon. Yes, I'm getting rested. Yes, I'm back to my normal self. Find me on social media, because I don't do it on home, only on this station. WECU 1570 AM on the AM dial and 107.5 on the FM dial. Now, there are some men listening, and I'm here today from that meeting last week. I did plan a guest, but all of you who would like to call in, do so. Call in and wish that woman in your life love. Here's the number to call: 252 756 2008. The line is open. Call and say, Happy Woman's Day. God bless you, uh, my dear. And name your wife if you want to. Show some love. There's nothing wrong with that. So, this is Woman History Month. And I want to tell you a few things about what I did last week. And I get so worked up on this show when I'm rested, when I feel good. And I thank God today for having allowed me to go through whatever it is I go through, that I still have the heart to love people and share in the kindness and goodness that I am able to receive from this community. I received a phone call yesterday from a man who lives in Stokes. I'm not calling any names, and I wasn't expecting the call. I had just pulled up at the at social services office to take care of one of the community people. And I like to thank social service for having some kind men to assist us women in doing those things that we do out of love and kindness. But this gentleman called me on my telephone, and it came through as I had just turned parked, and I had not turned my car off. And I said, "Hello, how are you today?" And he says, "Commissioner, I'd like to thank you for your support and your vote of compliment. And I want to let you know how happy you made me, my family, and my household. For 200 years, from great great grandfather up until now, we have tended our land and we have sowed our crops, and we are happy to be farmers. Farmers feed the world. Farmers feed everyone. And I didn't turn my phone off, and I'm going to do something that it won't, I'm going to try to let it happen, but it won't do, so I'm going to turn it way down and tell it to go off and make sure that it is off, and it might go off and it might not. I'd like to thank you, sir, for sharing your kindness out of Stokes, North Carolina. Um, when I am working, when I am representing you in this position as county commissioner, I try to use my heart, my eyes, and all of the senses that God gave me to do his will for the good of mankind. So I thank you for all the kind things that you gave. But when I am in the position of serving you, Pitt County, as one of the 9 people on the Board of Commissioners, when I am there, I think about you as my family. I look to you for the kindnesses that I give you. This week, this is Women's History Month, we've had some storms. We cannot control the weather. Thank God, because if we could control the weather, there would be a lot of things going on. Good morning, Facebook, Awesome Radio family. Good morning to all of the social media that I see she has up here. We have a wonderful African American female that I would like to pay tribute to today. Akila. 1 minute. Gosh. And I'm going on about women. We will be going off in a few minutes and then come back, and I'm going to share some calendar dates with you as to what's happening and what women will be doing. So that's this week, and we'll see you in a few seconds on the Mary Perkins-Williams Show right here on Awesome Radio Network, serving Pitt County and Eastern North Carolina. We are so happy to have you join us, and we will be back in a little bit, in a few seconds, news, community information, awareness, and education by me, Mary Perkins-Williams, right here on the Awesome Radio Network, who is headed, owned, and serviced by a woman, Akila Thickpit. Thank you so much.
Awesome Radio Network is gearing up for our annual Mother's Day and Father's Day gift bag giving for the residents at McGregor Downs Health Center. $10 will sponsor one bag. If you would like to donate towards this community event, contact us 252-756-3137. And together we can show the love of Jesus, encourage and brighten the hearts of the residents during their stay at the McGregor Downs Health Center, Greenville. Donor's name, organization can be attached to the cards if desired. To learn more about this annual community event, contact us at 252-756-3137. That's 252-756-3137. We are a 501c3 organization under Community Care Fellowship doing business as Awesome Radio Network, where God gets the glory.
I'm Dr. Kyle Harner from Carolina Arthritis Center. Living with arthritis or joint pain doesn't have to limit your life. At Carolina Arthritis Center in Greenville, we're Eastern North Carolina's only private, single-specialty rheumatology clinic dedicated exclusively to your joint health. Our experienced team offers comprehensive care all under one roof, from consultations and joint injections to on-site laboratory, x-ray, bone density testing, and our specialized infusion suite. No more running around to multiple locations for your arthritis evaluation. When you need expert rheumatology care, choose the specialist who focus solely on conditions like yours every single day. Carolina Arthritis Center, where your mobility and comfort are our main priority. Call 252-321-8474 or visit carolina-arthritis.com to schedule your consultation today. Again, that number is 252-321-8474. Carolina Arthritis Center, where your journey to health begins.
Hello, my name is Tracy, and you're listening to Awesome Radio. Thank you.
Awesome Radio. Yes, awesome. News, information, community awareness, education. The Mary Perkins-Williams Show.
Welcome back, radio audience. Now, the owner of the station and I have conversations when we go off the air. And she said to me, I wonder why there is not a Men's History Month. I said, because they're supreme year-round. I wonder why we have Father's Day and we have Mother's Day. Now we have Women's History Month. But we don't have a Men's Month. Well, here was my answer. I said, women are not recognized in a positive manner throughout the year as men are. Men are leaders in the household. They are captains of the ships. And in all history, women were not recognized almost as being anything other than a servant. They could not, and I'm continuing our conversation, they could not vote, they could not do anything but be servants, servitors. And so they are deserving to be recognized. Now, as far as calendars, because we'll be going off in about 8 minutes, there are some programs that where women are coming together. This is a serious year in politics, so there will be a Negro women group forming at Philippi Church very soon. It's in April, and it will be asking you to come together, because now that we are voting, that we will be able to participate in a strong way. We have a lot of things happening here in Pitt County. Excuse me. And I'm so sorry that my guest is sick. And I'm looking forward to a healthy return. If you have someone, and the number to call in the next segment, if you would like to pay tribute to a special woman, you may do so by calling 252 756 2008. This is Women History Month, where we honor women in the duties and the jobs that they do aside from the household, because all of us have been brought up to clean, cook, and do all the things for the household that we need to do. We even go out there and cut the grass necessary. So when he comes in, if he's earning a living and he's a good person and is a good man, you will find some women try to make it as comfortable and as kind as possible when he returns home. Would you like a glass of lemonade? Would you like some water? Have a seat. Here's a cup of juice for you. How was your day? Those kindnesses happen when he comes in. And even though she does not do it, she's cooking that meal as she thinks about you. The woman does do that because it's in our spirit of being created. Eve was created after Adam. Adam was here first, and then God created the woman. And some men, excuse me, say that God created a helpmate for the man in that. I would like to say that he created tenderness. This is Women History Month. There are a lot of programs. Every congregation, every household should recognize their the female in their house. Now, I say March is the month where we have to be careful because the pollen is green. And this is the month where everything turns green. We almost now have to wear a mask in the month of March so that we can cover our respiratory intake, our nose, our mouth. I wear glasses. Everything we do, that whenever we speak, pollen can get into our system. And so March is Women History Month. There are a lot of programs. If you look into your media, if you look on your social, there are a lot of recognition for women. Thank you for all your kindness, gentlemen. Thank you for being good enough to open the door. Thank you for being respectful. I know the language on television seems to have changed. I know this has changed from long ago. And it is something we can do about it. We can speak kindness to one another. Don't say that it is not going to go back. For we are supposed to be the prime animal on this earth. We, as a human being, are supposed to be the most intelligent one. I think we need to start taking on that intelligence and share love, share kindness, and share the positive spirit that is in us. We will be going off to the next segment of the show, and I'm going to talk about the program that I attended last week. The program was sponsored by the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners. There were some women there, Um, we are District 2. Pitt County is District 2 in the North Carolina Association of Counties. And our lead person for District 2 this year is Commissioner Ann Floyd Huggins. And we went to that meeting in Halifax County last Wednesday. We attended that meeting. And we were driven there by our county manager, Janice Gallagher, who is the leading person in Pitt County as far as our local government. She tends the county when the Board of Commissioners, she is the leader. When the Board of Commissioners are not in session, we're only leaders when we are in session. In the meantime, we have a dynamic woman who lead this county, and her name is Janice Gallagher, a very kind, a very dynamic leader who tried to maintain a spirit of goodwill. And I like to give this day in contribution to her leadership. County Manager Janice Gallagher, thank you so much for being the person you are, and thank you to her family for allowing her to be the leader for the Pitt County government. Now, that is my tribute to our county manager today, and for all of the women who are celebrating or who are in a leadership position in your government, whether it's municipalities, county, or whatever. Thank you so much. And that's what I did for this time of sharing the calendar. We will be back in a few minutes, and we will talk about women history and the goodness of women history and what it does for us. See you soon.
The Real Treasure Worship Event Center, a sacred, peaceful space designed for prayer, worship, and meaningful gatherings. More than just a venue, the Real Treasure is a living room to the city, a place to gather, rest, connect, and encounter God. Located at 410A Evans Street, downtown Greenville, please contact us at 252-412-3169 to set up an event.
Health Pro is a licensed home care organization and a trusted provider of in-home care services with skilled nursing and personal care services. When your elderly parents live alone, there are many things that can be done to make general housekeeping and personal care easier. We are located at 408 West Arlington Boulevard, Suite 101C, Greenville. At Health Pro, our services provide a relief for the aging and the disabled population who prefer to recover in the comfort of their homes. Our services expand beyond the normal, and we are currently serving 17 counties in eastern North Carolina. Veteran personal care services, companion care, sitter care, respite care, private pay home care, pediatric adolescent personal care services are just a few of the many services we offer. Health Pro, a local, trusted, leading provider of in-home care services. 252-364-8114. That's 252-364-8114.
Hello, this is Akila speaking here from the Awesome Radio Network. We are your vehicle to help drive the gospel of Jesus throughout all the world and to every creature. If God has placed radio ministry on your heart, we'd love to connect with you. Our number is 252-756-3137. That's 252-756-3137. We are Awesome Radio. We're growing. Thank you for growing with us. News, information, community awareness, education. The Mary Perkins-Williams Show.
Good morning. Welcome, radio audience. This is the Awesome Radio Network. I am Mary Perkins-Williams, live and in color, and right here on Awesome Radio, 1570 on the AM dial and 107.5 on the FM dial. Now, I told you the last time that we have conversations when we go off the air. And this morning, or just now, the owner says, my engineer says, what about planning? What is zoning? So zoning, I don't recall having Jonas on the station. So I'm going to see if I can get him to one of these shows. And the person who I was hoping to have is not well. Her name is Patricia Ferguson. She has served in Bertie County as a county commissioner. She still lives in Bertie County, and she was going to make this journey. She has been a radio personality on the Williamston radio show back in the day when there was a station in Williamston and she had a show on that. She has two sons who are working in media in California. She has Patricia Ferguson is a dynamic female. She has a husband, Dr. Ferguson, out of Bertie. He is an MD. Now, when I use doctor, I like to use the title doctor for medical. They're in the medical profession, and he is a doctor, and he does handle seniors. Patricia is a dynamic woman. She's not well today, and I look forward to having her. She's in a new venture. She has a nonprofit that works for the area in Bertie County and north all the way to the Virginia line. Her sons work for Warner Brothers, and I have served on the board with her. Equity Films is the name of a product that Patricia has developed. And to let you know that I'm finding the right words to, when I say with that, it's not that I don't have a loss for words. It's that I'm trying to find the right word to describe the phenomenal job of bringing the culture of the performing arts further out. I have had the local, one of our local people on who does movies from Pitt County, and I was sharing with her, and she knows the young man. She knows him, and they are friends, and he lives right here in Pitt County and has a movie and has done movies. And so now when I ride down Cotant Street and I see the building that's going to East Carolina, when I was working at East Carolina, I did perform in one show. It was about nurses and hospitals. And it was about hospitals and nurses, what nurses had to do to share for sharing the care of patients of doctors. It was an interesting production, and it was an interesting experience for me to be on that show. I was at Joyner Library at the time, and after I finished my duties as a librarian in periodicals, I went to the Edgar. Edgar was the director of that movie, and these was Jamaicans, nurses, and it was a very interesting way. That was my first time of actual show business, um, and what is involved in that. And it was really taxing, but I did do that because he needed someone of color to serve as a Jamaican. Most of the people who live in Jamaica are African American of looks, in looks, and most of the people who serve that area, leaders, are African American in looks. In other words, their skin has color, a lot of color, and they just portray what the United States call, Jamaica is south of us, what the United States call Negroes, colored, what are the other names we've had? A lot of slang names to describe us. Black was just before African American. And African American has seemed to last longer than any other ones because the black people were recruited to come to the United States to serve in the position of slaves. And we just coming out of Black History Month. We started out as a Negro History Week. Then we went to, we started out as a day and we went to a week, and then now we have a month. We are coming out of the month of African American history, and we're in the Woman History Month. That's because women in the day were really servant in position, no matter what the career was. The woman had a servant kind of duty to the man, and the man was always the leader, the superior, the controller of everything. So to get back to that discussion we had during the last break, I suppose this is why, and if you look at Congress nowadays, Congress is the controlling group of this country. And there's always been a man in the leadership position for the United States. The first time, or the closest we've come to having a woman in leadership position, was this recent time with President Joe Biden, who became president after Barack Obama. Barack Obama was an African American man who was a descendant from an African father and a white female who had white grandparents. So we have made a lot of accomplishments in this country. And it seems that somehow we are looking back now rather than forward. We are losing our element of love. we are losing our respect for one another. And we are reaching and grabbing for those things for which we may not, and I use the term may not be, we may feel entitled to, but we may not be respectful of. So I'm going to get off of that topic uh, because we are still looking at Christianity as the leader of our doxology, of our being, of our culture. Christianity, regardless of how you may face it, I don't even know how I get into this one. Christianity, no matter how we name it, is the religious aspect of say who we are, what we want to be, regardless to which part of the teachings that we receive. We should still respect one another because we are supposed to be the superior animal that has been created. If we can't do that, then our purpose weakens. And if we can't respect those who are in positions, then we step into muck and mar and wrongdoing. We need to reach for the good within and come out with positive ways of thriving. I think this country, if you look at it, we are in a pivotal point and we don't know where we want to go from the Bible to the other balance that seems to rise. The Bible taught us love, understanding, recognition, collaboration. The Bible taught us respect, responsibility, and everything. Now, I'm talking about Bible as in the guiding ruler of a household. Every household has that, and this is the closest I'm going to get to the Bible is being the pivotal point. Because in this last election, I learned some things. I learned that no matter who you are, other cultures come within play. And I learned that no matter what you present, or no matter how much kindness you give, and no matter how you try to embrace all mankind as being the superior being that was created by the Creator, then there is some spirit there that comes out and about that describes you beyond who you know you to be. So somehow or another, this station, as being a station of mixture, being a station of Christianity, being a station of reaching out and pulling in and respecting all elements, we need to pivot on the positive. We need to reach for the good. We need to pull in the softest part of mankind and grow in the soil of rich fullness in love and understanding. In every turmoil, we should be able to find a lighter, better way of expression and being. In every activity, there should be a reasoning of coming for the good of the effort on both sides of us that we need to do. We cannot live on bread alone. We have to have some vegetables. We have to have some fruits, which is the sweetness. We have to have the soil to grow. We have to have the mindset of mixing all of these elements together to make us be a better piece of creation that's intended for us on earth. I don't know where all of this is coming from, but this is how I feel after this past election. So, in this question of zoning, in this question of planning, in this question of coming together, Pitt County government has a large list of boards, commissions, and commissions that you can go on the website at pittcounty.gov. You can go on that website and look at that list of boards and commission. Greenville is a city, just one of the 10 that has boards and commissions. It's the county seat. There, every household has a seat. There is a table for which we sit to eat. Government is a place to eat, no matter what it is that government is serving us. We sit at the table and we determine what's on the table that we need to participate in. And so I'm encouraging you to be a part of government. I'm encouraging you to read the various boards in your town, to serve out of the goodness of your heart. You can't tell your heart who to love because it falls without you knowing. It falls out of the 5 senses of the body, and it tells you how to bring it all together. So I'm asking you today, since Women History Month is a good time to recognize love, because women are softer, they are gentle, they are kind people. Let us reach to the goodness of women being there. Let us reach to the kindness of the love that come out of our hearts. Let us have March as not the tornado that dwells with us, because we can reach for the hurricane that brings in the fish and the fowl. We have 1 minute to go. I have given the only sermon that I will give. I am disappointed that my guest is not here, and I'm looking forward to her getting well. And I know that she's in good hands with my God and your God, whatever you call him. And I know that she has an earthly husband who is a medical person who's serving. So next week, we will come forward with the guests, and I look forward to serving you. Go on the sites and search to become servers. We have a lot of people at home in our seniors. Serve, be good, And thank you for listening.
Awesome radio. Yes, awesome, awesome, awesome. Can you hear it? Awesome, 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 awesome.